Hello and welcome back to Blind Man Morris. And as you might know, we recently removed the H1 carburettor from our Series 2 Morris Minor. And that was because we wanted to replace the jet bearings and seals and replace them with a super dry kit, which has now arrived. But I thought it might be a good opportunity to compare an H1 carburettor, which is here, with an HS2 carburettor on the left here. So these are both Skinner Union carburettors, and H1 carburettors you see in Series MM Morris Minors and Series 2 Morris Minors. HS2 carburettors you see in 1098 Morris Minors and later 948 Morris Minors. The early 948s had an H2. So these are horizontal carburettors, and that means that the direction of airflow is in a horizontal direction. And the 1 stands for the size of the bore. So a 1 and 1/8 inch bore is an H1, and an HS2 has a 1 and 2/8 of an inch bore. So 2/8 is 1 1/4 inches, if you remember doing your fractions. So let's have a look at them. They've both got some common features, obviously. They've both got damper chambers. They've obviously also got float bowls as well. They've all got adjusting screws, and they've also got adjusting nuts as well to adjust the mixture. So looking at the H1 first of all, this is an H1 here. And on this H1, you've got some controls. So you first of all got what they call the slow idle control on an H1, which is this screw here. And then you've got the equivalent of the fast idle control, which is this screw here. Underneath, you've then got the adjusting nut to adjust the mixture there. In comparison, this is an HS2, and on an HS2 you have got the fast idle adjusting screw here, and then you've got the idle adjusting screw there, and you've got the adjusting nut here. So if we turn our attention then to the float chambers, so you'll see they are quite different to the float bowls. So the one on the HS2, you've got the fuel intake on the top in the middle here, and you've got 3 screws which hold the lid on, and it's a flat lid. And I will just take those off so you can see what it looks like inside. So I've done a whole video on float bowls, if you're interested in that. But this has got a complete float bowl inside, so there's no arm attached to the float. So you can't adjust this by bending the arm. What you would need to do, and you can see it on my other video, is put shims underneath here if you wanted to adjust the position that the float is sat in. I'll just put that back a second. We now look at the float chamber on the H1. So completely different. It's got a domed lid to it. It's got a nut in the middle rather than screws. And this has actually got a filter inside it, so you're able to clean out the filter, and it helps with sediment that it picks up. It's also got this little thing here, which is a tickler pin, which enables you to prime the fuel system when the engine's cold. It is a bit of a point of failure, this though, because it also enables petrol to come out of the top. So just to be aware of that, if you've got an H1, it is a point where they can leak. I'm just going to take that nut out the top and take this off here. So you've got a brass float inside, and then you've got a little arm there which holds the float in position depending on how high or low you want it to be. And you can bend this, you would bend it near to the edge here to adjust the position. So very different. And if we turn our attention briefly to the connection between the float bowl and the jet, they are different. So on an HS2, which you may well be familiar with, it's got a flexible pipe which takes the fuel directly from the float bowl to the bottom of the jet there. Whereas on an H1, completely different setup. So on an H1, you've got a solid chamber which takes the fuel from the float bowl through to the bottom of the carburettor rather than to the jet itself. So a very different setup. And if I turn them so you can see the butterfly valves on them both, you'll see that the mechanisms on the side are different in their look, and also that the metals that are used to make them as well. And they're different sizes. So an HS2 has a much wider mount than the H1. So the reason that we are doing work on the H1 is because it is leaking out of the jet. And these had cork seals inside them. Really good if they're used regularly and not with ethanol. Not so good if they're not used regularly and with ethanol. They tend to perish quite easily, really, and then leak on you. And for us, it's meaning that we're not able to set the mixture very well, which is, of course, affecting the ability to make the car run correctly. So you can get upgraded seals, but you can also get an entire kit as well. So we've got a super dry kit that came from Berlin Fuels, the SU Fuel Company. So in the next video, I shall be fitting the super dry kit and showing you how it goes together. So I hope you find that interesting. And so tune in next time and see me fit the super dry kit. And there you go.